Normal One. It is the Oil Stream on a Monday, brought to you by Boston Pizza, where it is Pasta Tuesday every day in the month of January. Whoa!
Hey-o.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Any day you have pasta, it's exciting.
Yeah, and now it's Pasta Tuesday on Monday and on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday and on Saturday and Sunday and also still on Tuesday.
I'll tell you this. As someone who won free BPs for a year at Boston Pizza 170th, I might take advantage.
I heard I missed something. I heard he brought by, actually we had some leftovers today.
Yes.
Trev reheated some of that in the old, what's the one that... Yeah, I heard about this.
We gave him 5
gave him
to
5
7
minutes, eh?
Yeah. He was actually quite good.
Yeah? What did he say about Tomasek not working out?
He was disappointed, and he said he may have been under the influence of alcohol, and he may blame Hernan a little bit for that. And I was like, no. You can't blame Hernan for that. You guys are all enjoying the splendor of the golf tournament.
That's where it went down, yeah.
Yeah. Collingwood Rob was my witness.
The golf tournament's a good time.
Yeah. Belzy was my witness, and Tony went around and he made some deals. But it was very nice of him to bring the crew lunch the other day. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And then I know he wanted his time to shine, so we were good. We gave him a few minutes, and he was, to Tony's credit, handled it well.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Shout out, Tony.
Shout out to Tony.
Let us know who you want to bet about next year.
But we didn't let him off the hook.
Next year, we're going to get a huge meal catered by Samansky Bets. I'm sure that's what'll probably happen with Tony.
I can't wait.
Anyway, it is the Oil Stream. It is brought to you by Boston Pizza, and it is Pasta Tuesday every single day in the month of January. He's Gazzola. I'm Nielsen. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on all of our other audio platforms, you can fire us a text, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We'll get to lots of stuff on the Oilers for sure. But Tommy, gotta get your thoughts first on the junior game last night.
Yeah. Oh man. Disappointing, obviously. And I was listening to you guys talk on the way in here. I think Gager made some good points. He highlighted that Canada doesn't have a toughness to them anymore.
Yeah.
And I think
there's
that's
a lack
valid.
of grit for sure.
The skill is through the roof. We know that and we recognize that. And that deserves respect. But the toughness, the make you pay when you play against Canada, that hasn't been there for maybe a decade, maybe a little bit more. There's been instances, but I remember Ryan O'Mara getting kicked out of a game. Of all people, this was a guy that before the draft, like when he's 15, 16, 17, they had him projected as high as number 1. And O'Mara ran someone in like the 06 World Juniors. And he was like a skilled scoring forward, power forward.
Yeah.
And we really don't have that grit anymore as a World Junior team. So I thought Joaquin was spot on with that. I thought that there was an entitlement and an arrogance to Team Canada. I pointed out, you know how they get the microphones, where they have the guy on the ice with the camera, and it picks up on the mic. There was, when they scored, I think
Junior does that a bit.
Oh, does Junior? Well, Junior does it on the field for broadcast.
I think he does some hockey stuff too.
Get Junior on skates. He can skate.
Yeah, I think so. I think he can. Yeah.
Phil Junior's really good. Anyway, there was one moment, and this is just like my perception of this arrogance that I think we have as a hockey nation. And listen, we're good. But
this is my issue with the arrogance we have. And first of all, we're good.
We are. But the comment that I overheard from the ice cab was, "This is our house." It's not your house. You're in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
It's not like you're defending home soil.
Yeah, like it's not your... I know you want to make it as much so, and there was a good contingent of Canadians there. It was just like little things like that, and the moment got to them. This tournament is great. I completely give the Czechs a lot of credit. They played excellent.
They were the better
game.
team. It shouldn't even have been as close as it was.
Right.
Honestly, I felt that way watching that game last night.
And And every time Canada had a moment where they tied it, what was it? 4 times they nullified a Czech lead. They didn't harness that momentum and utilize it.
Or Czechia did a good job, and that's taking the game back over.
Good
at 5-on-5,
point.
right?
Good point. I mean, I got home from my parents' place after dinner. It was like a couple minutes into the second period. And shots were like 12-6 Czechia.
Yeah.
And
Canada didn't get anything going until they got that second power play goal.
Yeah.
That was when they sort of evened up shots. At one point it was 16-15, but it was nothing to do 5-on-5. It was just,
So Czechia deserves credit. Absolutely. They've been a thorn in the sides of Canada, but it just feels like skill. And I know last year they went away from that. Murray made a good point on the hangout is they tried to build a team, but there's so many things that could be critiqued about Hockey Canada, and I think it's deserved. But yeah, we don't have that identity. And Joaquin, I really liked his point where he said you had to earn it against Canada. But now Canada, especially at the World Juniors, seems like we want to go up and down the ice with you and outskill you. And we're going to win because we're just better than you. We're Canada. And we've earned that swagger by winning so much in hockey, but maybe it's caught up to us a little bit. And I really think that the U.S.'s developmental program is excellent. And I know that they lost to Finland in the, was it quarters? But yeah, I watch Canada and I'm like, oh, just look at all that swag.
Like, to me last night, it felt like I was going back 20 years and Czechia was playing like Canada and Canada was playing like Russia. Where they had a bunch of skilled dudes that, weren't overly interested in getting into the forecheck and hitting some guys.
Great point.
Like, that's the vibe I sort of got last night watching that game. I was like, this is not...
It's not Canada.
This Czechia seems to be playing like the way that we used to play.
Right.
And they were all over it. Like, they were aggressive as hell. And the Canadian blue line did not handle it very well. A lot of it was just flipping it out of the zone and trying to skate onto it. Like, there wasn't that much that they had going for them in that game last night. That's how even some of the swag stuff was like what you would see with the Russian kids back in the day, right?
That's a great analogy.
That's what it looked like to me watching that. And I've watched the last ones as well, like the last few. I never had that feeling. Mm-hmm. Last night I had that feeling. I was like, this seems like bizarro world right now. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes from here. You can text us 780-218-9999. The Bomba guy says, I've said this for years and years. It's the kids' fault / parents' faults. Canada hockey is declining. I've said this about having no goaltending prospects, but it applies here too. Kids all want to be McDavid or Crosby or McKinnon. No one wants to be Tom Wilson or Zach Hyman. No kid wants to be a third-line grinder or a hitter. The game is growing from highlighting these stars, generational players, so the kids will follow.
That's a great point. Great text. And Sean Bell and I were having this conversation, and he talked about the kids he coaches now, and he goes, Tom, they learn how to skate so well. The way they can handle the puck is amazing. Some of the things they can do individually is phenomenal. And when they grasp the concept of systems, they're really good at it. But and this is something that also comes up when we talk to player development people. Johnny Boychuk, I highlight because he brought it up when he was on Hello Hockey. He said they have to teach kids hockey IQ. Kids don't have hockey IQ the way they used to.
Yeah, there's skill, which is
great skill.
Better than it's ever been.
Yeah.
But the understanding of the game in hockey sense is lacking.
As a whole, correct. And I said, Belsey, well, where's that coming from? And Sean said there's a few places where it might be come from. Could be, how we coach, could be this, could be that. But then Belsey also made a great point. He goes, kids don't talk about the game that they watched yesterday.
Highlights.
They see the TikTok, they see the highlights, they see the clips on Instagram.
Social media.
The reels. And they're not out there appreciating a good checking shift, killing off, penalty kills, killing off time when you're up a goal. They don't have that comprehension because they don't watch the game. They watch the highlights. They see the clips. And I was like, that seems like it might have some legs.
That is an interesting
we're in that era.
I mean,
right?
that is where their kids are on their phones all the time.
Yeah.
And you never go on TikTok and see, check out this penalty kill last night.
What a great blocked shot followed up by a clear.
Look at the way Jason Smith knocked this guy down in front of the net.
Yeah.
Like you don't see, I'm really dialing it back with Gator,
watch this board battle.
Yeah.
It's and the game, all sports will evolve and they'll have, the next generation will change the game somehow. Just it's natural. But that's kind of an interesting point that Belsey made. That's like they're not watching games, they're watching clips. And we had a great Benny's Blind Rankings last week talking about the best MVP.
Benny was so livid.
We ranked the best MVPs in World Junior history.
Yeah.
Now, Benny picks like which ones we will, and we have to determine the order, not knowing which is the next player.
Yeah.
And we ended up having Patrice Bergeron number 1.
And Bedard it too.
But Bedard ended up 5.
5?
Right? But he saved Bedard for last.
Okay. So
we had
he
like
got
Puljujärvi 2 or 3 because like they all had these guys all
shout
had
out my boy JP, phenomenal World Junior.
And
God, I'll never forget that line.
And we had to forget that you're not basing it off what they did in the NHL.
Yeah.
You're basing it off what they did in their particular World Juniors where they won the MVP. And Belsey played on that 05 team with Bergeron, and he had like 12 or 13 points in 7 games, and that was the best World Junior tournament. It's considered the best World Junior tournament with the best Team Canada of all time. And the younger generations lit us up on social media, and TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. But they're saying Unk taking Bergeron.
You got unked?
We got unked. But listen, I also
Not even
said,
I've been unked.
I said, I know we're going to get the kids saying Unk doesn't know what he's talking about, but it was the younger guys being like, without Bedard and his 23 points, Canada was nothing. What did Bergeron do? And it's that's the difference in the appreciation of the game, I think, between our generation to the younger generation. So like Benny, that's all he knows, right? Whereas we would sit through a boring ass 3-hour Saturday 8:00 game between the Oilers and the Canucks or the Flames.
That's how you consumed your hockey.
Right? Yeah, and you would watch the whole game and be like, boy, the fourth line really is quite effective at killing time down low in the offensive zone. Whereas now, I don't even think most kids, and this is just an assumption, know who's on the fourth line of most teams in the NHL.
No. Is that just you trying to make a case for Matthias Janmark still?
Maybe. Good point.
What do you think of McKenna?
I was surprised that he wasn't as dominant
as
I expected him to be.
I said the same thing after calling the Holinka he was in.
Yeah.
I left that tournament and I went in expecting to be like, oh my God, you can't stop this kid.
Right.
And that one was here in Edmonton. Matthew Schaefer was the best player on the ice. You could tell. You're just like, Matthew Schaefer's a stud.
Yes.
And I left that tournament going, am I missing something with McKenna? Like he's insanely skilled.
Absolutely.
But I left that tournament wanting more. And now you watch him in the World Juniors, and I think everybody leaves thinking he was going to be better than he is.
Right. I watched every Canadian game. To what level of dialing it in, that's varied over the holidays. But usually a game or two into watching Team Canada, I have an idea which guy is which just by recognizing the way the style in which they play and skate and stuff. Even last night, I'm like, okay, where's McKenna? Okay, there he is. I think that's him. I couldn't identify him. And so to me, and I'm wondering too, with him jumping to NCAA, don't get me wrong, I don't blame him for taking the money, exploiting an opportunity that's presented. Absolutely. But I was sitting there going, where is this guy? Why isn't the puck on his stick every time he's on the ice? Why isn't he controlling and dictating the pace? Because I thought he was supposed to be the guy. It's a hard tournament, but
it's a hard tournament, but still, you sort of expected him to stand up a little bit more.
Best guys find ways to have that impact.
Especially in a big game like that. And if anything, down the stretch, he sort of lost it a bit.
You know who I really liked? T.J. Ginla.
Yeah. I would have liked to see a little bit more of a Ginla. Like, get him out there a little bit more.
I was like, that guy looks like a left-handed Jerome. about that?
Did a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good finish.
I don't think he'll have. Well, who knows? We'll see how it plays
knows,
out.
but-
I think he might be. As we were just talking about a lot of this stuff, he might be the sort of 2026 version of Jerome, in that a little bit more skilled, but not as physical as his dad. That's
Because
a pretty good example.
Daddy would rough it up.
Yeah.
Daddy got mad, he'd fight you. That was the beauty of Iginla. Iginla was just a great hockey player who found his confidence and became one of the best for a long time. Good Edmonton area product.
Andrew, the accountant, is in and says, "Hey kids, don't worry. You can be big, skate around, and do nothing, and get an 8-year contract for $3.5 million per year. You don't need to be skilled." Andrew, the accountant. That's pretty.
That's a good one.
That's pretty funny.
If we had text of the day on this show, I think that would be number one right now.
Definitely. That would be right up there. Haji texts in and says, "The kids who make it to the show are the kids who have the skills and attention to detail needed to play at that level, which represents a tiny fraction of kids overall."
Good point.
Yeah. All right. Let's dive into we're going to get into some Oilers stuff for sure. So let's keep things moving here on the Oil Stream. Let's dive into some Popeyes spicy headlines.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why we got moved so far over there. Let me correct that now.
Oh, very nice. Good symmetry.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right. Mangiapane for Ryan Strome. Would you do it?
I mean, yes, if it was realistic.
Financially, it's not going to work.
Right. I was just discussing with an insider. He might be on our Saturday show. I asked about this, and he said, yeah, Friedge brought it up. Doesn't think it's a fit. Neither do I.
I think what Friedman brought up was that he's heard that Anaheim is poking around Mangiapane.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know if Friedman was actually linked to saying Ryan Strome would be the guy going the other way, as opposed
Someone else took it.
Well, I saw some people online saying what would make sense here is that Ryan Strome has been healthy scratch recently. And correct me if I'm wrong. If Elliot Friedman actually came out and said Ryan Strome for Mangiapane, please correct me on that.
Yeah, help us out here.
But Strome's got $5 million left, $5 million on his deal next year as well. Now he could be your third line center that has more offensive jam than Adam Henrique, which at least would be, at least that would be a different problem that you could possibly use. Right? Mangiapane is just one of a group of bunch of wingers who they're trying to find where they fit on this team.
Yes.
At least if you were to bring in Strome, you could go, all right, you're our third line center. Let's see how that goes.
He's also the type of guy, you can slide him around the lineup. I know he's a little bit older now, but
he's 32.
He is willing to engage in any way possible to help his team. Like, he'll fight when that's not his MO, but he'll do it. He'll hit. He'll dig in corners and muck around. He's kind of got that old school hockey player mentality, which I always appreciated. He was really skilled, and you look at his numbers consistently throughout his career. I mean, essentially 41 points the last 3 straight years. What changed in Anaheim? New coach. Maybe Joel Quenneville doesn't like Ryan Strome.
Yeah.
So
if they made the same money, I'd be open to it.
Change of scenery for both guys.
If Strome was making 3-something, it'd be okay. If they were willing to take something back in addition to Mangiapane that you don't want anymore either.
Right.
I mean, that could maybe be something as well. I'm not all hot and horny for it. I would love it from a morning show perspective, so we could use the Ryan Strome goal song again. It never really got the love that it deserved.
I know.
So that would be all time. But I mean, I also think for everybody who's like super duper opposed to it, if you are, this is the type of thing that we're going to be talking about, right? This is somebody else's issue who's 32 and he's been healthy scratch and he doesn't really fit into their plan.
Yeah.
That's their Mangiapane.
Yeah.
Like that might have to be what ends up happening. Something along, maybe not him, but something like that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you don't have a lot of bargaining power with Mangiapane right now, especially when you scratch him 2 out of 3 games, and he doesn't deny the claims that both sides would be willing to move on, and the stuff with the agent getting the green light to go and seek a trade and talk to other teams. Basically, like, it's all been confirmed. We're just waiting for the other shoe to fall or drop or whatever, and wipe your hands of it and move on and say, oh, that was a failed experiment. So let's see what happens. But perhaps it's good that there's chatter at least, and there might be some interest in Mangiapane, if anything, if you want to take a positive out of this. And then there might be a resolution to this sooner rather than later, and it doesn't linger on, and all of a sudden, he's barely playing, and when he plays 7 minutes, and then we're all sitting there going, what are we doing here? So maybe they get something done rather quickly.
It is your Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen spicy headlines. Go get your hands on some delicious Popeyes chicken, marinated for 12 hours, hand battered, and you've never had Popeyes and after been like, oh, I'm still hungry.
No.
Like Popeyes straight up fills you up with what they're giving you from a chicken perspective. 3-piece bone-in chicken right now for just $8 at all Popeyes locations. But yeah, if you're looking to get filled up, Popeyes will fill you up on chicken for sure. All right, here's what they were running today at practice. McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, as expected. Draisaitl, Podkolzin with Kapanen over on the right side. We're going to dive into your numbers game for Play Alberta here in just a little bit. Henrique between Roslovic and Howard. Lazar with Matthias Janmark and Savoy. And then your 3 extra forwards, Frederick, Mangiapane, and Hudson. And then on the back end today, Ekholm, Bush, Nurse, Regula, Stastny, Emberson, Walman, Stillman, and then Ingram and Pickard. Now, Walman, is this the first time he skated with the group?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little while since he's been out there with the group. But, Tommy, there's 15 healthy forwards skating there. So
something's gotta give.
Somebody's going to have to be sent down here, right?
I would think so.
It's going to be Hudson? I mean, it's going to be Hudson.
I mean, they tried that. They tried that kid line. And the only thing that came out of it outside of them actually looking like they were willing to engage but didn't work out well. They got caved in the one shift by the Flyers' fourth line. I was like, this is not good. And then they get scored on for that Nick Seeler goal.
But their first game ever together with a guy who doesn't play center in the National Hockey League playing center.
Yeah.
I mean, can you just look at that and go, wow, this is never going to work? Or do you look at it and go, you know what, let's let these guys play together for a little bit.
But they don't
and
do that.
see if it works.
Right.
But you can't even give them a second game.
That's right.
They weren't the reason they lost that last game.
Also
Did they help
correct.
them win? No.
No.
But there's a lot of other reasons they lost that game. So I don't necessarily love it because I don't see Savoy as a center in the National Hockey League. So, from a position perspective, it doesn't work. But it still frustrates me that you looked at it for that. Like, why look at it at all? Why'd you put it together at all?
Yeah. Maybe trying to ride the hot hand. That's the only thing I could think of.
The hot hand from the American Hockey League?
That's right.
Hot hands from American Hockey Leagues never continue in the National Hockey League. Like, how often does that happen?
Less than we'd like, I would say, but that logic didn't translate well, unfortunately. And who had that point? I think it was Belsey said it'd be better or more beneficial. Maybe Cass said sprinkle those guys around the lineup a little bit more.
Yes.
Didn't happen. Didn't work. The team overall didn't play. The team's defense. Darnell Nurse's puck touches were atrocious, by the way.
Nurse and Bush didn't look like they really wanted to be playing hockey on Saturday.
No,
right?
them among many others.
All right, 780-218-9999 if you would like to chime in on these line combinations. What does it say about the rest of the group that Kapanen is going to slide right back into the top 6? He has 6 goals as an Edmonton Oiler.
Oh, and a huge one against Vegas. And Reed points this out. They do like putting Kapanen in the top 6 from time to time. They will slide him up there, and he'll give you a few good games, and then he'll disappear. And then with Roslovic, that should be Roslovic right now, but Roslovic has kind of fallen into that. Who was it? Chip Alexander? Somebody out of Carolina said, oh no, it was Portsline from Columbus said, you'll see Roslovic and you'll be the best player on the team for a chunk of time, and then he disappears. Now, I know he got hurt and missed a bunch of time, but he hasn't looked the same.
He's still got to be playing with Leon, though. Like,
I would
put
prefer
Kapanen back
that.
up there?
Yeah. Now, this could be just a quick thing, see how Kapanen does. If Kapanen can be physical, play simple north-south game, and maybe help Podkolzin dig out pucks and give it to Leon for a couple of games, then sure. But to me, I don't think Roslovic. I think Roslovic's been in that dip lately and coming out of that injury. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, we're gonna watch these lines for 2 periods at most tomorrow, and then it's gonna be changed.
Let's see here. Luke in Cowtown says, I think it says more about coaching than it does about the group with this team right now. And Haji says, it looks like that Ike Howard Calder Trophy is back on the menu, boys. Yeah, if you hopped on that over at Play Alberta, it's a interesting look, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're sitting here and Draisaitl is being flanked by Kapanen and Podkolzin.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not just say that the offseason was the biggest pile of dog crap that we've seen in a long time? You give Frederick a contract, can't play in the top 6. You give Mangiapane a contract, can't play in the top 6. You got Kapanen back. This is exactly where you were last year.
Yeah.
Mission unaccomplished for another offseason for this management group.
Fair. That's a fair statement. You've also weakened your defense core, trading away Brett Kulak, and we're relying on guys named Regula, Stasny, and Emberson. And I bet until they traded for Stasny, no one had a clue who he was. And he has been the better of the 3.
Yeah.
Quote unquote younger defensemen, even though they're all like 25. Yeah. Like Kapanen to me can moonlight in the top 6. But if you think he's a consistent top 6 player at this point in his career, I don't think that's a fair statement. Like I could see them flipping Roslovic for Kapanen depending on how the game's going tomorrow night. Henrique, I don't know. He should be the 4th line guy now, but they don't have a 3rd line guy unless they move Nugent Hopkins down. They tried. This is the other thing too. You look at the coaching staff and the decisions it's made. Why was Roslovic playing center for a few games? That was weird.
Because Henrique does nothing.
Right. Well, now they're playing together on a line where Roslovic's on the right side, evidently. I don't know, man. And then you go, well, is it the bottom 6 that sucks, or is it that they don't play? I think it's a little of this, and I think it's a little of that. And it's a bad mix.
It's worse than it's been the last few years, though, right? Like
feels like
we can always sit there and go, "Oh, the bottom 6 doesn't produce much because they don't play, and these guys don't get slotted in on the power play here or there, and they play less maybe." But this year, the production has been even worse than any of the last few years.
They don't
as well. Right?
They don't.
They do absolutely
carry momentum.
Nothing.
They don't create momentum. They don't make it hard on opposition players to play against them. They don't play in the equipment of the opposition. That's something that Todd McClellan would always say. They don't give you anything tangible that good 3rd and 4th lines generally do. They don't check well. They're just kind of out there. And I defend him. I like him. I think he's a great guy. I think he's also an excellent hockey player. But Adam Henrique is example A.
And that brings us to the numbers game here and the numbers game and all of Edmonton Sports Talk brought to you by Play Alberta. Download the Play Alberta app today or go to playalberta.ca. You'll be able to find all of our EST plays every single day on the EST specials page at Play Alberta. Tomasek is gone. Mangiapane is about to be gone. They bring up these kids. They don't really play them much, and then they go back down.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Henrique, since November 1st, has 0 goals and 4 assists. To be honest with you, I was surprised he had that many assists. Frederick, so far this year, and this is like since November 1st, he's got a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
In 41 games, he's got 2 goals and an assist.
Yep.
Matthias Janmark has 3 goals in the regular season since the beginning of last season. So, like, we sit here and go, oh, Tomasek didn't work, and Mangiapane's not working, and you can't play Howard and Hudson here because, they had 9 minutes and they didn't do anything. But you keep running out Frederick, Janmark, and Frederick, Janmark, and Henrique. And these guys literally don't contribute anything offensively. Nothing. Like, it's this year, those guys have, like in the last 2 months, those guys have combined for 3 goals. Right. In the last 2 months, those guys have combined for 3 goals. And they stay in because what? Because of the couple, they penalty kill a little bit. Some of them
Veteran status
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like I can't. It's unbelievable that they get that little from those guys, and they're combined. Frederick and Henrique are making $8 million, over $7 million, like $7.5 million.
Yeah,
for those two guys combined. And they literally do nothing. And don't text in and go, Henrique wins faceoffs. It doesn't matter if you can't do anything when you have the puck. You can win the faceoff all you want. But if you can't do anything with it, once you win it, what's the point? So it's like, it's killing them. It's not even like there's somebody down there who, he's playing well, so you can elevate him up with Draisaitl. That's why Kapanen comes back from injury, barely pisses a drop himself, and he gets back up on the top, or in the top six. But you can't give Hudson a look there for a little bit? You can't play Howard in the top six again for a little bit? Or put them anywhere in the lineup? Like, I guarantee if Frederick and Henrique went down to the American League, they'd have worse numbers than Hudson and Howard. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yes,
They would, offensively, they wouldn't. So, Like, they need something out of any of those guys. Because right now, they are literally, like, I'm not saying, they're getting 30% of what, they're getting 0% from what they need from these guys. What are you supposed to do?
Now, how dare you question the division-leading Edmonton Oilers
in a division that wouldn't even have a playoff team in the East?
That's right.
Like, congratulations, Oilers. Your division's horse shit. The entire division is negative goal differential.
Yep.
Every team.
Yep.
Unless that changed last night.
It has not changed.
Like, it's a god awful division. They're probably going to win the division, which I hope you bet on when we said you should bet on them to win it.
I put a sprinkle on that. Because it's an awful
division.
Yep.
But they were cruising through December, and we brought it up a little bit at the time. Was it more than just McDavid and Draisaitl lighting it up? And you wanted it to be, but now they dropped 3 of 4. McDavid's still playing well, but Draisaitl's done nothing.
Correct.
So like, it's really looking to me like, if Draisaitl and McDavid combine for 5 points, they'll win a game.
Yep.
If they don't, they're going to lose a game.
That's right. That's basically what's happened.
That's basically what this team is this year, right?
Yeah. And again, the defense, I have a lot of issues with it still. And then the goaltending still kind of a toss-up night in, night out. I mean, we saw Ingram come back to reality a little bit his last start. Looks like he's going to get the nod against the Preds. I don't know what more Pickard could have done the other night. When you're getting no run support, he was okay. I didn't think he was particularly great. He probably wanted a couple of those goals back. It's just, it's not an inspiring division-leading Edmonton Oilers team. Let's just put it that way.
No, it's a team that has an awesome power play.
Yep,
like they're leading the worst division. Like right now, the Bucks and Panthers and Falcons are looking at the Pacific going, that division sucks. They're leading it because of their power play. There's really no other reason.
No. Every other aspect of their game is spotty. Penalty kills spotty. We talked about the defense, obviously. Lack of depth. There's a lot of issues.
All right, 780-218-9999. Tay says, does this not come back to what Derek Ryan said years ago? I didn't come here to play 7 minutes a night. Does that comment not point to the culture of the organization? How many guys have left this team and gone on to produce more on other teams, injuries aside? There's something wrong with this organization. I think it's getting easier to see as time goes on. Yeah, but I mean, there's also been turnover in the organization since
a lot
some of those,
turnover.
like in those days too, right?
Yeah. So, this was a conversation that happened in the boardroom prior to Oil Stream. Reed brought it up. He goes, what do you think of Knobloch? Think he's a good coach? I said, yes. I'll start with yes. Absolutely. I do. But to me, because of the pressures of coaching here, the burden that comes with having Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl needing to win now, it's a tough market to begin with, and rightly so. He's reverting to just running those two guys. And this is the same trap that Woodcroft fell into, Tippett before him, Hitch before him, Todd McClellan before him. I think this scenario cracks good coaches. and it's a bad formula, and it's frustrating. And we end up talking about the same issues year after year after year. But then they go get this guy, go get that guy. Guess what? The Oilers have gone out and answered those demands internally or externally. They go out and they make a splash. They go get guys that they think are going to help bolster this lineup, provide depth, and then they don't. Go get a goalie. Your goalie sucks. Stu Skinner can't get the job done. All right, they go get a goalie. He's hurt already. Go get Connor Ingram. That people wanted Connor Ingram at the start of the year. They got him. He's been all right, but I think it's safe to say he's not the solution. I'm hoping to be more positive in that he might be okay. But I feel like when it comes to this scenario, it always ends up being just play McDavid and Draisaitl. Put him out there with Hyman. Hyman's like the only one. Nugent Hopkins, those are the only guys that have really been able to complement the big two. Outside of a good year from Patty Maroon, 1.5 good seasons from Milan Lucic, a decent start from James Neal. We always have the same scenario popping up.
What say you on that one? 780-218-9999. But Tommy's right. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat thing. And Northside Sandwich says, no matter what, if the Oilers have McDavid and Draisaitl, players will always want to come play here. And that is a draw.
Sure.
But we've seen guys who thought they were coming here to play with McDavid and Draisaitl in back-to-back years be like,
I got to get out of here.
I need to leave now because I'm not, and I'm down here, and I'm getting buried, and I don't want to play here anymore. And this is a Stanley Cup contender, usually, for the last few years, and will be again, I think, the next couple of years after, well, we'll see if management doesn't blow their cap space in the offseason incorrectly. But, so yes, you can get the players to come to Edmonton. But can you get them to perform in Edmonton and want to stay in Edmonton? And it's backfired a bit the last couple of years.
The answer to that question is no recently.
Ryan from Sask texts in, and you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. I would honestly try someone else with McDavid and Hyman, maybe Roslovic if they're going to put Kapanen with Leon. Put Nuge as the third-line center with a couple of young guys. I don't know if that's the right approach, but it might be worth a try? Question mark? What say you, Tommy?
I don't mind it, but what if it's a swing and a miss, and then all of a sudden your one reliable good line, which is totally fueled by Connor McDavid going on an epic run.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like we should only be worried about that if we think Nuge is what drives McDavid and Hyman. And I don't get me wrong, I love Nuge.
Yes.
But I'm not sure, like, yes. Will it be as good as it is with him? Probably not. But
fair.
Can it be really good still? And can Nuge get something going from a third line, which in general, let's be honest, nothing, Connor's brilliant and we love seeing him put up huge numbers.
Yeah.
But if Nugent Hopkins can give you a third line that makes your team better, then that's the play, right? But you got to give it some time.
And you got to commit to rolling that third line.
You can't put Nuge on the third line and then play them minimal amount.
Right.
And you can't put him on the third line and move him back up to McDavid's win in the third period when you're down 3-2. You have to put Nuge on the line with Roslovic and play Ike Howard somewhere. And
sure. Here's something. Is it not concerning that, how teams, when a game's close or they're chasing one, generally go down to 3 lines? Edmonton just goes down to 1.5.
Yeah.
Like, that's the default.
10 minutes left in the hockey game.
15, 20 sometimes. And it's just, okay, we got double shift, 29 and 97. We'll sprinkle in a couple guys there. Instead of being like, okay, we're going to roll 3. We're sitting out the essentially the fourth line is the 3 guys that aren't giving you anything and that are off that night. They don't do that. They just go to 1.5 lines. That to me is also kind of an issue. That you can't even, you can't trust 3 lines, or you just only think you can win by rolling and double shifting 29-97 with a smattering of other guys.
Yeah.
That's concerning. And Knobloch does it. Other guys that have coached this team have done it. Someone texted in, I think it was Trolls, said, can we say the Oilers are coach killers? I've used that term before. They've had 5 coaches in 10 years. McClellan, Hitch, Tip, Woody, Knobloch. Since 2015. So now it's 11 years.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of coaches. And I know coaches in the NHL, their shelf life is even lesser now, but
like, you are not as talented as McDavid and Draisaitl are. You are not going to win a Stanley Cup with 2 lines and a good power.
yeah.
Like, you have to have something that you can at least trust in the bottom 6. And right now, they have not built anything that you could trust in the bottom 6. And some of the pieces that have been brought in, either Knobloch hasn't liked them, or he doesn't think they fit where they want to go with things.
Or they're Frederick and they're just late and slow on everything.
Yeah. Which is a management. Like,
Yeah.
we can sit here and blame Frederick, but what's he going to say? No, actually, I'm not that good, so only give me 4 years and 2.5. You know, like, it's just like, those are decisions that have been made by this management group that, outside of Roslovic falling into their laps, you know, a lot of what they've done
After
still sort of
saying no to them.
Well, yeah, exactly. After Roslovic coming back when he realized nobody else wanted him,
Yeah.
you know, there haven't been a ton of hits so far with this group.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you play with Nuge if you decide to try to do a third line?
If you want to create a third line,
Who goes with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? And if they're actually okay with Kapanen riding up there with Podkolzin and Draisaitl, then that would open up some options maybe.
Okay. So you'd leave 97 and 18 together.
Yeah. And I might play Savoy with them. But anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm okay with that. Draisaitl, Podkolzin are basically a pair.
They're a duo.
And then you would have Nugent-Hopkins at third line center. I don't mind sprinkling the young guys. Like, okay, try a Howard up at top line left wing.
So if you put Howard up there.
Put Savoy back with Podkolzin and Draisaitl. Let them cook again.
Nuge, Savoy, and Roslovic.
Exactly. I'm thinking your next pair,
Yeah.
couple veteran guys, are Roslovic and Nugent-Hopkins. And then basically whoever. Like, I wouldn't, if Kapanen's going to play a big man's game, and he can, guy's jacked, he's built like a tank, then maybe Kapanen with Roslovic and Nugent-Hopkins. Right? Because I would put Savoy
Kapanen with Roslovic and Nugent-Hopkins. Put Savoy with.
Put Savoy up there.
So you put Savoy
I know
here.
that the parameters were.
Yeah, no, but then,
Kapanen.
so Nuge with Savoy. Nuge with Roslovic.
And then Kapanen.
And Kapanen.
Whoever can play the left side.
Man, if only
play the left
Frederick or Mangiapane weren't a
I know.
waste. You know? Like,
and then the fourth line.
you could play Hudson there. You could have a kid on each line.
Sure.
Howard with McDavid and Hyman.
Yep.
Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Savoy. Nuge with Roslovic and Hudson.
Because when Nugent-Hopkins plays left wing on that top line, what is he essentially? Just be responsible with the puck in your own zone.
Yeah.
And be a finisher.
Yeah.
Howard's supposed to be a finisher. We've seen him do it a couple times this year. If he can pick up the responsibility and be adequate in his own zone, then that should, in theory, still work as your top line. I like this line, the Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Savoy line. It had a good run, and why can't you get that going again? And then if you really want to sacrifice Nugent-Hopkins to third line center, I would like
as Waddy Cloverdale says, I thought Nuge had good chemistry with Roslovic when he first
I would
arrived.
put them back together.
Yeah.
And then I would throw Kapanen out there to be the tougher,
a little bit of size,
stronger.
Get in on the forecheck a little bit.
To me,
basically what Frederick's supposed to be doing.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like, that's...
And I'll be honest with you. On the fourth line, I'd just leave Lazar in. Because he actually does stuff.
Would you play Henrique on the wing?
Yes. I think Henrique should be on the wing.
I think he's a winger at this stage of his career.
I've said it all year. I even said it last year. He's probably better suited to just be a winger. And then So I would go Lazar at center on the fourth line, Henrique at left, and then Janmark on the right side. Oh my God, Trent Frederick isn't even in the lineup.
I got to tell you, I do like the duo of McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Nuge, Roslovic.
That's how I would look at it.
And I like the way Nuge and Savoy kill penalties together. So I mean, I don't even hate Nuge Savoy as the third third group. But
fine, yeah, I'm okay with that.
See, so I mean, if they could trust these kids, you could actually put together a pretty good top nine.
How do you get trust with them? You got to play them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
They need to learn how to become consistent NHLers.
And look, if you're playing Savoy with Draisaitl and Podkolzin, Draisaitl and Podkolzin should be good enough as a duo to pick up any sort of area where you're lacking with Savoy, which I really don't think he lacks much. Like, I like Savoy.
His two-way game has improved. That's why he's here.
Howard is a shooter who skates well. Like, he has two of the elements that you think should be good alongside Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman.
That's why.
And we've never seen that line together because Hyman was out when Howard was up at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
And then Nuge is as veteran center as you're going to find. He'll have a veteran winger who can obviously score. And then you put another young guy with him or Kapanen on the other side. But I don't know. I think there's a strong case to be made that that's better as a team than what they have now with two good lines and an absolute nothing in the middle.
Yes. Actually, not having Frederick or Mangiapane in this forward group, I still think that this group that we put together is better than anything with Frederick and Mangiapane at this point.
Yes. Agreed. This text is in. It says, what about Hyman and Nuge together on the third line and McDavid with Roslovic and a young guy? Yeah, once again, though, you need to have faith in these young guys. And they just haven't really given them a legitimate, trustworthy look so far.
I got to look at go back to the game sheet from the other night.
Also, shout out to a guy who's texted in for the first time. He's texted a bunch in today.
Nice.
Thank you for listening to the oil stream. I'd be curious, like, did you just start listening, or had you never texted in before, or do you listen to 95.7 Cruise FM and we told you about the oil stream and now you're listening throughout the day? Very curious about people who just sort of pop up out of nowhere. How'd you find us?
I like it. Maybe
you never had a phone before. Just listen on a computer and couldn't text. Maybe that's what it is. But Give me your backstory, old 9232. What were you looking up, Tommy?
Just the time on ice for the young guys the other day.
And Howard was over 10, right?
Savoy 10-16, Hudson 9-17, Howard 11-52.
Yeah. I'll actually say that's more time than I thought they were going to get.
Frederick played 8:39. Janmark 10:57. Henrique 12:35. Yeah.
Here's an interesting text. What I don't understand is they've got a lot of margin for error. The division sucks. You're going to end up in the playoffs. Try some things and stick with it. You got some runway here.
That's logical.
Nature Boy says, great suggestions, guys, but it'll be all for naught because if they don't produce the first two ships, they get split up again anyway, and we're back to McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman playing 70% of the time.
Yep. Touche.
Bones texts in and says, Hudson and Howard getting that gravy PP3 time. The third power play unit deciding to chip in a little bit there as well. Well, you know what? And the other thing, now they've got a lot of hockey coming up, but they are at home. Like a busy, but I'd rather have an insanely packed schedule at home than an insanely packed schedule on the road in January.
Which they
for
had.
the team, which they did that earlier, but now right before the break, you're sitting here, you're fighting for first spot in the division. Now you got a bunch of games at home.
And they've been good on home ice this year. I think they're 10-5-3 now.
A couple of those losses were all-time embarrassing losses.
They certainly were.
You know, the record overall, you're right, has been a little bit better.
They certainly were. It's weird how they've kind of the 3-day break and how they've come out in these 4 games since the Christmas break blows my mind because they've had 3-day breaks in the schedule in general.
Didn't they have a 3-day break in the last 4 or 5 weeks and it didn't throw them off?
That's right. That's why I'm like, what happened to you guys at Christmas?
Coming out of the 3-game break?
And there was people texting in, this team historically doesn't handle breaks well. Yeah, but it was so short.
I know.
And the theme in all 4 of these games that they've played since Christmas break is it's been a lackluster performance and just kind of an effort full of malaise and again, I point out Gager and how he described the Oilers on Saturday afternoon. They looked like a team that rolled out of bed and had to play, and then the Flyers looked like a team that was ready to play. No bueno.
Did they have a 3-day break or was it just a 2-day break?
There was one earlier. I think there was one in like November.
Oh, was it? Okay. I went and looked back here we are. Yeah, it was the Stars. They played the Stars on the 25th. Didn't play again until the 29th. So they had the 26th, 27th, 28th off. Went into Seattle, shuttled the Kraken 4-0. That was 3 days. Now, this would have been completely way. They would have had a practice in there.
True.
I mean, I'm trying to justify it.
I know you're trying to think.
But it's like the same thing over and over the last few years.
The 16-game winning streak ended after the All-Star break / bye week. Now, they played a good Vegas team in what was a pretty good game. We were down there for that one a couple years ago. But still, they were cruising. And I think they had some lackluster efforts after that, too. It's bizarre. I just find it odd.
Let's get to this text from Grumpy Cat. Says, do you think the team that was going to sign Frederick to 7 years will trade for him now to get the 8th year at a lower AAV? Grump, we love you. But that is a hilarious suggestion.
Wishful thinking.
Can you imagine some team trading for 7.5 years of Frederick?
So there's somebody out there going, well, St. Louis. I don't think there's any love lost between the Oilers and the Blues right now.
It's coming up on EST Afternoon, Zach.
Lots of conversation from Gager and Hernan about the lineups today at Oilers practice. They also dive into the upset Canada faced against Czechia yesterday. Of course, they play for bronze. Guy Flaming Guy will be checking.
I'm interested to hear what Guy has to say about it.
They also go around the NFL to talk about the big Week 16 finish. Zig Fracassi from SiriusXM NFL Network Radio.
He's fantastic.
And name of names, by the way, as well. Great name.
You know what he
Zig
reminds?
Fracassi.
Yeah.
Fracassi.
He's got a great voice.
Mm-hmm.
Have you met Zig?
I've not met him, no. But
Today's
I've
your
heard
day.
him. Yes.
He's awesome.
I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me, too.
What's his, don't give his email out, but is it like zig@yahoo.com or something like that?
That would be amazing. Let me check here.
It's not, eh?
Probably
I don't
isn't.
think.
Probably
What if
not,
it was like, what if he was a Zygmunt?
like Palfy.
Yeah, but he was a Sigmund.
You know what? Actually, this is a surprising. I wouldn't expect that from this guy. Yeah.
His email?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't want to say
dirty?
anything. I don't want. No, it's not. It's nothing dirty.
Look,
it's
Zach,
not,
just give his email out on air.
Yeah, please.
Just kidding. I want to see it later.
Oh, Guy says he has lots to say. That's great.
Oh, yeah, of course Guy Flaming's got lots to say.
Old Gil says Tommy must be happy Gannon got Ken. I mean, the team sucks. I'm more concerned about what they do with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, what do you do with Kyler Murray?
Buddy, I don't know. I've never liked him. I had hope for him in the first season and a half or two.
He's shown some flashes early in his career.
Right, but
he's so little, though.
He's so little. He gets hurt and doesn't seem like a guy that's dialed in the way that would lead a team to championship or even contention. His press conference when he got that 40 schmil per year, he was talking about how good he was in high school and this and that, and then you've got people around the team saying, like,
is he the guy who plays a ton of video games?
Loves video games, doesn't put the
guy,
work in when it comes to film study. Not good.
All right, that is going to do it for the Oil Stream today. Brought to you by Boston Pizza, where the entire month of January is Pasta Tuesday. Every day.
Boom.
Great specials on all their delicious pastas. I know the Nielsen family is going to be crushing Pasta Tuesday a lot in the month of January. We love that place. All right, that's going to do it for us. EST Afternoons is coming up. If you're watching on YouTube, just turn on autoplay. No need to go anywhere. EST Afternoons is cruising along. Tune in, iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. A couple of quick commercials over there, and then you'll be back with EST Afternoons into the Reed Wilkins Show. For Tom Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Talk to you tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Have a Tales of the North tomorrow for the first time in what seems like forever. So that'll be on 95.7 Cruise FM and all of our other platforms. Take it easy.